Hello, everybody. One moment, please. I got to turn Do Not Disturb on, okay? Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. I had to make sure my Do Not Disturb is on, y'all. Sorry about that. Welcome to my live. I am Queen Lillie. How you doing this evening? I hope y'all are doing very well. We got a lot to cover because the Epstein files have been released, and they got released earlier while I was live. And I didn't plan on going live this evening, but I have decided to come on and go live because we got a lot to talk about. Pam Bundy and Cash Patel has played in our face with these Epstein file releases. So redacted. Some pages are completely black. Hello, sweet lady. Let's see how you doing, beautiful. Some of the Epstein files that were released today, December the 19th, were completely black. Yes. They decided that it was going to play in our face. And they decided that we wouldn't have enough sense to know that the pages, 119 pages, has been completely blacked out. That's what the MAGA Republican, the Donald Trump regime has done, y'all. Played in our face. But we're not selling for that, Dunny. Pam Bundy, you gonna get locked up. Nixon's attorney general got locked up. The president didn't, but Nixon's attorney general got locked up, girl. I don't understand Pam Bundy. Why would you do this to yourself, Pam? Why, girl? Anyway, y'all, we're going to be getting started. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Please hit the like button. Come on. Hit the like button, everybody. Hit that like button for. If you like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. Yes, if you like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. And if you like to become a member, I have two different memberships, the Rubies membership and the Diamonds membership. Get your membership because there's particular cases of Katie Johnson versus Jeffrey E. Epstein and Donald J. Trump. And I like to call him Donald Janine Trump. Yes, those are cases that's in my members that you need to check out. Because there's going to be a video I'm going to show you tonight of a particular case that was mentioned in the Epstein files. And I think it was snuck up on it because some things they tried to completely redact about Donald Trump. But some things slipped through. So whoever they paid to redact everything about Donald Trump out, oh, you did 119 pages, but you didn't quite remove everything. But we still want the whole Epstein file non-redacted. You played in our face, Pam Bundy, with your bleach blonde, bad body built self. Okay, y'all, we're going to be getting started. Come on in, hit the like button for me, everybody. Hello, King Bob Brown. How you doing? Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Hey, we're going to have a good time. Come on in. Get in here, get in here, get in here. I'm cleaning my screen right now. I see y'all coming in. Hello. How you doing? John Amons, 8338. How you doing? Come on in. Get this good sermon tonight. Yes, I got some cooking to do, but I'm going to be just fine. Okay, y'all ready for this tonight? Because this is a hot ghetto mess done by Cash Patel and Pam Bundy. They played in the American people face, but we're not going to settle for what they're trying to offer us because we're bigger and better than that. We are the American people. We can't be fooled. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to take a listen to Mr. Harry J. Sessions because he called Donald Trump the fat, gross, molester. Yes. Listen to what he has to say from the Epstein files. That's the thing that came out today, and that's what we're about to talk about. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you for coming to my live. I am Queen Lillie. I love each and every last one of you, and God loves you too.
Major news, the Epstein files included a sworn deposition from a young girl who talked about her interaction with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago when she was just 14 years old. This is from one of the complaints against Epstein in the files, and it talks about how Doe, the pseudonym for this 14-year-old girl to protect her identity, would visit with Epstein and Maxwell. Those visits made her incredibly uncomfortable, but she felt like she couldn't refuse them. During this time, Epstein started to pay for voice lessons for her and insisted that her career would not move forward without them. But then it says, during one of Doe's encounters with Epstein, he took her to Mar-a-Lago, where he introduced her to its owner, Donald J. Trump. Introducing 14-year-old Doe to Donald J. Trump, Epstein elbowed Trump playfully, asking him, referring to her, "This is a good one, right?" Ugh. Trump smiled and nodded in agreement. They both chuckled, and Doe felt uncomfortable, but at the time, she was too young to understand why. That's incredibly gross. Donald Trump and Epstein chuckling at the idea that a 14-year-old is a good one? Are you serious? Trump tried to do everything he could to protect himself from the files, basically scrubbing his name from them, but they forgot that one, and that's pretty bad.
They forgot that one, yeah. Just like Harry said. When you look at the Epstein files, I'm going to show you some of them. They are black, completely black. And as you know, I'm going to play you something that somebody worked for the DOJ said they was going to do, and they did just that. And they tried to show nothing but Democrats like Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, so on and so on. Huh. But you know what? The FBI didn't do a good job of whitewashing the Epstein files. One moment, please. I'm going to refresh your memory of something I showed you earlier because I love y'all and I love God. You don't love God? What's up with you? Hold on just a moment. I'm going to refresh your memory of something that I showed you all earlier. Hold on. Oh, I went too far up. I got a little too excited for my beautiful kings and queens and I just went too far up. Hold on, beautiful people. Hold on just a little while longer. Oh, hold on. I thought I went too far, but I didn't go too far because I got to show y'all this. To refresh your memory, why the Democrats are the only ones being showed in the Epstein files. Hold on.
Those files do exist.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files, leave all the liberal, Democratic people in those files.
Do they visited that Maxwell person?
Yeah.
And also involved?
She got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against BOP policy because she's a convicted sex offender or something to keep it on shut.
But those files do exist.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every.
Brags that work for the DOJ saying that's the DOJ is Pam Bundy. Yeah. Yeah, Pam Bundy. You think you slick, girl. We see you. And that come from Carrier News. So we're going to get on back down to where we need to be because we got a lot to cover tonight. I can't stay too long because I got a lot of work to do. But I come to see my people and let them know what Donald Trump and his regime is up to with the Epstein files. Hold on just a moment. And this is from Aaron Partners. Everything I show is fair use, great for educational purposes, and great for entertainment purposes, and great for research purposes. And what we're doing over here on my channel, we are doing research, everybody. Yes, research. And I always throw a little comedy in there. So sit back and relax and kick your shoes off. And MAGA, go take a bath because you ain't took one in about 5 weeks. Go take a bath and come on back and enjoy the show. So let's listen to the great Aaron Partners. And he said Maria Farmer, a survivor, was proven right in the Epstein files. Spread the word and amplify her story. Yes, God, she's a survivor.
Some news right now that I need you to spread everywhere. Maria Farmer, one of the Epstein survivors, she was right. And she was proven right tonight with the release of the Epstein files. There's a lot of talk about the negatives that we're seeing. The fact that this Department of Justice is working overtime to cover up the truth, not releasing the files. But there was one file released tonight that vindicated Maria Farmer, completely corroborated her public complaints. Back in 1996, Maria Farmer reported to the FBI, made a report against Jeffrey Epstein. For years, she said that she did that. Very few people in the public believed her. The media didn't fully believe her. She was called a liar. Her sister, Annie Farmer, another survivor, also said publicly that Maria filed this complaint in 1996. So many people could have been saved, prevented from this, if the FBI just listened. And guess what happened tonight? Maria Farmer's 1996 complaint was released to the public. She was right. She was right, even though everyone doubted her. The fight to release the files is far from over, and we need to amplify the survivors first in all of this. Tonight, join me in amplifying Maria Farmer, because she was right.
Go to his YouTube channel when you get off of mine and go see if he's live. Yes, the great Aaron Partners. Subscribe to his channel on YouTube. So I'm going to read something to y'all because I discussed this matter earlier. Marla Maples warned a mom to not allow her husband near her 14-year-old daughter in 1994. Yes, Marla Maples, his second wife. He cheated on her too, apparently. She warned a mom to not allow Donald Trump around her child. And this comes from this impact. The revelation is part of New York Times investigation into Trump's relationship with Epstein. For the report, the Times interviewed more than 30 former Epstein employees and others who knew the two. Whatever you do not let her around any of these men, especially my husband. That comes from Marla Maples. Protect her. That's what Sandra Coleman, the mother of a 14-year-old Ford model, recalls hearing from Marla Maples, Trump's wife at the time, at a party the two were attending at Mar-a-Lago in 1994. Maples has since denied making that statement. She said it, but she's scared because Donald Trump is like a mob boss. So she's afraid and his goonies may boom her house like they did the judge in South Carolina. Boomed her house, but she wasn't in there. But her husband was, and he had to jump out the window. Marla Maples is scared. I'm not scared of Donald Trump. He doesn't scare me at all. And none of his goonies scare me. I rebuke you on the highest form, you demons. Coleman told the New York Times her young daughter was told. See, I have to delight in that. I have to delight in the fact that MAGA they keep continue to attacking my lives. You're such a foolish group of people, and you're low IQ, and you smell like Donald Trump's pissy depends with poop in it. I'm gonna resume because my people need to hear this. Coleman told the New York Times her young daughter was told to dress SEXY and was immediately given champagne upon arrival. Whatever you do, she said, do not let your daughter around any of these men, especially my husband. Protect her. Quote attributed to Marla Maples, ex-wife of Donald Trump, to Sandra Coleman, mother of a 14-year-old attending Mar-a-Lago party. And that's who you worship. Because MAGA is just like Donald Trump, pedo. Mediocre white men are just a hot mess. They love to touch young girls, pedos. So Epstein files are jail for Bundy. We want the files, and she needs to be locked up because she broke the law. She went against the law that Trump signed in.
Bundy just got put on notice, and it wasn't subtle. Congress is now openly warning that anyone who covers up, alters, or buries the Epstein files could go to jail, and Representative Ro Khanna made it crystal clear that includes the Attorney General, which is unfortunate for Pam Bondi, a woman whose entire public resume is built on overpromising explosive disclosures and delivering absolutely nothing. Khanna didn't say mistakes. He didn't say miscommunications. He said obstruction of justice. Hide documents, prosecution. Tamper with files, prosecution. Redact them so aggressively they look like a CIA torture memo from 2003, also prosecution. And let's be real, if there were an Olympic sport for strategic redaction, Pam Bondi would already have the gold medal engraved. This is the same official who spent months teasing the Epstein files look like a blockbuster release, only to hand the public empty binders, missing exhibits, and excuses. Every time the curtain gets pulled back, it's the same routine: dramatic buildup, zero accountability, and a DOJ acting like the public is too stupid to notice. That's why Khanna explicitly called out excessive redaction. Not accidentally, not casually. He said it because everyone knows exactly what playbook Bondi would reach for first. And this time, Congress is saying, don't even try it. Today is the deadline. Not summaries, not ongoing review, not documents with every name erased. The full files or consequences.
Pam Bondi knew there would be consequences. So you're going to get played how Nixon didn't go to jail, but his attorney general did. Pam, why would you do that to yourself, girl? Why? So MAGA actually thinks it's funny the Epstein files aren't being released. At least they got some, but that's not good enough. But that's because, Pam Bondi, you were told non-redacted. And the little bit that you released today are redacted. Girl.
MAGA thinks it's funny the Epstein files will not be fully released. They're laughing at the fact the people involved haven't been held accountable yet. Take a look. This is a real tweet from Valentina Gomez, who's running for Congress. She's since deleted it, but she said, ha ha ha, the Epstein files are never getting released, with a laughing face. And other MAGA accounts like Gunther Eagleman, for example, are doing everything in their power to avoid talking about Epstein. He posted this picture of Obama saying the Kenyan who brought racism and hate back to America. And he also posted this earlier saying, Happy Fact Friday. The 2020 election was stolen. January 6th was staged. COVID was the flu. Masks and vaccines don't work. Obama is a Kenyan. Add your facts in the replies. It's unbelievable to witness what the MAGA movement has become. They are openly defending some of the most evil people on planet Earth. One of them is even joking about the fact that these wealthy and powerful people will never be held accountable. And the other one is pushing blatant misinformation to distract us from the Epstein files. This isn't about disagreement or policy differences anymore. These people are openly rejecting reality. They're sending us a very clear message about their priorities, and it's not truth or justice.
Poor MAGA, the low IQ, bless their soul. They love to come over here and harass a black woman, born woman. So stop putting your bullshit in my chat, or I will take your neck and with my words and rip you apart with my words. So I suggest you stop coming over here and talking about your daddy that's a cross-dresser, okay? That video is from Uniting Now, and the first video I showed before that one, the previous video, was from Real Talk USA. Subscribe to their channels. So this is from Fact Post News, and this is the public law that Pam Bondi has disobeyed. She will be punished to the fullest. They need to do that. So an act is said to require the Attorney General to release all documents and records in possession of the Department of Justice relating to Jeffrey Epstein and for other purposes. I'm going to show you, then I'll read some of it. This is the law that she has broken. Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, and Donald Trump. They had until today to release non-redacted Epstein files. So it says, be it intact by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled. Section 1, short title. The act may be cited as the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Section 2, release of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. And deadline public information in general, not later than 30 days after the date of the enactment of the law. The Attorney General shall, subject to sub-downable format, all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in the possession of the Department of Justice, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the United States Attorney offices that relate to Jeffrey Epstein. Number 1, Jeffrey Epstein, including all investigations, prosecutions, or custodial matters. Number 2, Ghislaine Maxwell. Number 3, flight logs or travel records, including but not limited to manifests, itineraries, pilot records, and customs or immigration documents for any aircraft vessel or vehicle owned, operated, or used by Jeffrey Epstein or any related entity. Individuals, including government officials named or referenced in connection with Jeffrey Epstein criminal activities. That means Trump. Civil settlements, immunity of plea agreement, or investigatory proceedings. Entities, corporate, nonprofit, academic, or governmental, with known or alleged ties to the Epstein's trafficking or financial networks. Number 6, immunity deals, non-prosecution agreements, plea bargains, or sealed settlements involving Epstein or his associates. Donald Trump is one of his associates, one of his crime partners, you ask me, in my opinion. Number 7, internal DOJ communications, including emails, memos, meetings, notes concerning decisions to charge, not charge, investigate, or decline to investigate Epstein or his associates. Donald Trump is one of his associates. Yeah. Number 8, all communications, memorandum, directives, logs, or metadata concerning the destruction, deletion, alterations, or misplaced or concealment of the documents, readings, recordings, or electronic data related to Epstein, his associates, his detention, and DEATH, 9/11, or any investigative files. And Pam Bundy has went against all of it. Yes, Pam Bundy. She thinks she's untouchable because she got the funk box, the orange man protect her. Pam, you're not untouchable. Hit that like button, please. So, this coming from Aaron Partners, and he says calls for prosecution of Pam Bundy and resignation grow after failure to release all the files. Hold on.
We have some major news right now. Congressman Thomas Massie is saying that future Attorney General could prosecute and convict Attorney General Pam Bondi based on the complete non-disclosure of documents tonight. The Trump administration is saying right now, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, they're all saying this is the most transparent administration in American history. But there is a grand jury document, just for example, 119 pages, mandated release by the court, completely redacted. They completely redacted. They over-redacted. And they did it, why? To conceal the truth. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is not a subpoena that expires at the end of every Congress. It's the law, and the law doesn't expire. And theoretically, future attorney generals could investigate and potentially prosecute the current one and any other Department of Justice employee complicit in the concealment of the Epstein files. As Congressman Garcia says, this is only about 10% of what the DOJ probably has. The public deserves the truth, and right now, they're not getting it. Spread the word, follow for more.
Subscribe to Aaron Partners on YouTube. I'm going to read a couple of y'all comments because you matter to me. My chat matters to me. Caramel, thank you, beautiful queen. I read some of your, I tried to catch your comment. Let me find it because you was taking up for me because somebody in here insists on wearing white people hair. This is all my hair from my scalp. You would have really hated me if you would have saw how long it used to be. But that's so sad. You said I got white people hair in my head. No, this is from my scalp. Okay. God bless you. All right. Hold on. As both 3311 says, white people hair. You need Jesus real bad because y'all think black people can't grow hair. I'm a black woman. My hair was much longer than this. I have showed y'all pictures where my hair was almost touching my ass. I'm just black and beautiful like God made me. You white and I guess handsome or attractive, whoever you are. Good evening to you, Reverend Dr. JC. Good evening. Thank you very much. Are you king or queen? I don't know which one you are. I don't want to disrespect you. MAGA has peaked. Not the sharpest cult. MAGA is not the sharpest cult at all. Thank you as well, Reverend Dr. JC, for saying I'm beautiful. Thank you so much. Both 311 says, is your daddy white or your mom? Why are you concerned about that, baby? I had two chocolate parents, but we all mixed, to be honest, even you. The Cheese 707, you are barely black. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna let y'all go on with it and run with that. I love you. Bo 311 say I have a nasty tongue. I think you got me confused with Donald Trump because he had Bubba in his mouth. Okay, awesome, King Reverend Dr. JC. Awesome. Welcome to my life. I appreciate you and I value you and I love you. I love all of you beautiful kings and queens. I'm not reading no more Bo. You can leave him in here, Alan, but he just as crazy as a bed bug. Okay. Caramel 67 said that's all her real hair. No explanation is needed. Thank you, Queen. The Cheese 707 says, goodness gracious, bless your soul. God bless you. God bless you, okay? KT Robinson 6339, you can boot, read. That is why I asked. I don't know what you're talking about, but God bless you. I'm not going down with y'all tonight. I got some stuff to do, and I don't cook well if I'm upset. This is the thing I learned. When you cook, you got to cook with love. I'm not going there with y'all, but if you push me, I will break your neck with my words. Yes, I will. I prefer not to. Kev NYK says, at Cheese 707, bet you put your finger under each word, then you read. Ha. What people don't realize, when you read the chat is moving. King Kush, Woods 2193, bless your soul. I'm not going to argue with you. Y'all fix them, Jesus. Stephen King 9789, is that Kamala Harris? No, she's a beautiful queen too. Okay, Kev NYK, you're right. He said that I'm trying to expose the hypocrites. Thank you, King Kev. Out here, and the only thing y'all simple-minded idiots can see is skin color, and that's sad. I don't told them I'm black so many times. I've been doing this over a year, a little over a year now, and I tell them I'm black all the time. It's so silly. King Josh, how you doing? I love you, baby. King Kush says, okay, I'm not going there with you. You done good. You done whatever. Okay, I'm not reading that. That's nonsense. I'm not reading your thing either, Haya Wasa. I'm not reading your thing. God bless you. You need Jesus real bad. Stop worshiping Donald Trump. He is not your savior. I rebuke you. I removing myself. I ain't waiting on a moderator. I rebuke you, Bo 311. What you wish on me, it will come tenfold to you. I'm blocking you. Okay, I'm back. I rebuke you with your demonized ways coming in my chat with that treacherous stuff coming from your mouth. I'm not even going to tear you apart tonight. You better thank your Lord, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Donald Trump is apparently yours. Patty Vandal says, I don't know what that is. Lord God. I might not even read no more y'all comments because y'all are a bunch of people that need to go pray and go take a bath because you don't bathe every day like we do. We had to teach y'all how to bathe. One moment, please. Just a moment. I love you guys. Give me one moment. It don't make no sense. The stuff you come and people chat and say. And then when I read you down, you want to call me racist. All right. I'm trying to give you a safe place. But you cross me the wrong way, you're going to regret it. You will feel like you got pegged till you bleed. I'm trying to be nice up in here. Go pray to your mama since you don't like Jesus Christ because he was a black man. Bless your soul. Okay, so we're going to take a listen to Josh the Progressive, and he's going to speak of how he felt about the DOJ and the 300 gigabytes of Epstein files that they released.
I just got off a call with Congressman Ro Khanna, the Democrat who helped co-author the bipartisan Epstein Transparency Act, and he says that the DOJ has over 300 gigabytes of Epstein-related files, and they only released 2.5 gigabytes today. This is the clearest sign yet that they are in complete violation of the law, a law that once again was signed by Trump and was a bipartisan piece of legislation co-authored by Khanna and Republican Thomas Massie. We previously heard Attorney General Pam Bondi say there were no Epstein files. Now they're releasing hundreds of thousands of files, and they say they won't be able to release all the files today. And now we're learning that there's potentially hundreds of more gigabytes of files, meaning potentially millions of files that we're not yet seeing. They also have 15 days to explain why they redacted so much information. The law explicitly states they have to give a reason for everything they are not presenting, and there's more that's being redacted than what was released.
That is a fact. There's more that has been redacted than what has been released. That's a fact. So we're going to listen to someone to give a little transparency and a look a little closer. You'll see that things have been redacted. Totally been redacted. Horribly redacted. Hold on.
Months ago, the Epstein files were released. Let's check them out. This isn't a joke. These are what many of the pages look like. And it's not just a few. It's page after page after page. In fact, behind me is a 119-page grand jury testimony that's been completely redacted. Another 55-page document has been completely redacted. There's even complete documents missing. Like, where's 43? It's almost as if they're covering something up.
It is a cover-up. Pam Bondi and Cash Patel only goal is to save their jobs by protecting a pedo, Donald Janine Trump, the one that wants the ballroom built and want to throw fairy dust everywhere. Trump is a fairy. Donald Janine Trump. That's who they're protecting. So we're going to hear from the jolly good ginger, his thoughts on what has happened today. Thank you, sweet lady. Thank you, queen. And he gives a great point of view of everything, how he feels. He's excited to give it to us. Hold on.
Of Justice sent a letter to Congress explaining why they didn't release all of the Epstein files, and I've obtained a copy of it. Don't worry about how I got a copy. Just know I got a copy. And let me just say this. On page number 1 right here, it starts off right out the gate talking about how Donald Trump and the Department of Justice are committed to transparency and puke, 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 lies, 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 bullshit. As you know, today is the day 30 from the time the Epstein Transparency Act was passed and signed into law by the president. And so all of the files were supposed to be released today, but they weren't, were they? Nope. In fact, Mike Johnson sent Congress home a day early so that Congress wouldn't be in session today when the Department of Justice didn't release all of the Epstein files, which leads me to believe this was a coordinated effort to cover this up. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what did they say was the reason in this letter they didn't release all of the files? Right here, they explained that they did not release all of the files due to some of them being privileged documents. The privileges they're talking about are, and I quote, deliberate process privilege, work product privilege, or attorney-client privilege. And the reason that they are explicitly using that language is because in the Epstein File Transparency Act that was signed by the president, those are the 3 privileges that would allow them to not release and or redact documents. Now, here's the problem. They are very loosely using these privileges to not release some documents. And here's the problem with that. In the Epstein Transparency Act, it says you can't do that. A spokesperson for Senator Durbin and the Senate Judiciary Committee said the following. The Justice Department's failure to fully comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act not only violates the law, it continues this administration's pattern of protecting President Trump and other perpetrators and perpetuating the ongoing Bondi Patel cover-up at the expense of Epstein survivors. This is proof positive that that President Trump, Department of Justice, and his entire cabinet and administration will go to any lengths to cover up his abuse of children and his involvement in the abuse of children. If the withholding of these documents was actually justified, then Todd Blanche, the one who signed this letter to Congress, wouldn't have written a 6-page letter explaining why he withheld documents. And most of this letter is just him spitting a bunch of bullshit. At this point, Donald Trump and the Department of Justice are literally illegally withholding documents and fighting against Congress to do so. Release the files.
Release the fucking Epstein files. Dead ass serious. This is out of control. The American people are sick of that Donald Trump regime. They gotta go impeach Trump, impeach Bundy, all of them. They got to get the fuck out of our White House. That's the American people's White House. That is not Donald Trump's house. Although he don't toe down, what was it, East Wing or West Wing, whatever it is not his home. Although that fairy want a ballroom built, a straight man would not want a ballroom. It's that simple. He's a fairy, in my opinion. So let's take a listen to Don Lemon, what he feels about this whole situation of them playing in the American people face with the redacted Epstein files when they supposed to only redact something that's important about the victims, but not to redact the abusers. Donald Trump is a fraud. Pam Bundy is a fraud, and Cash Patel as well. And Blanche, yeah, you who went to talk to somebody that RAPED children, Jasleen Maxwell, and y'all made a deal with her.
Trust it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't live my life just assuming that everybody is lying. But when you get all this information, I just don't trust it. And the reason I don't trust it isn't like vibes. It's not like conspiracy theorists on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not, I'm not on social media like that way. I'm not down some, a YouTube rabbit hole. None of that. I just don't trust it because how this has been handled, how they're handling it, and what we're actually seeing right now. I should say they didn't wake up one morning saying, it's time to be transparent. It's time to be transparent with the American people. This didn't come from like that they were sure that Donald Trump had nothing to do with this. This came from pressure from people like Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey. They fought for this release, and the government fought this release, and then they dragged it out to the 11th hour. They slow walked it. They resisted it, deadline after deadline. And now at the very, very last minute, it's going to get close to midnight, they're starting to dump some of these files, already admitting that they're not going to meet the deadline to release all of them.
They decided to play in our face, but we're not going to settle for it because we are the American people. We don't sit back. We fight back. That's who we are. So, to throw a little comedy up in here, let's take a little look what Mr. Williams has to say about Donald Trump and his bussy, okay? So let's take a listen to what he thinks of Donald Trump. Hold on. One moment.
You're not supposed to have that on your neck. That's the mark of the beast right there. Someone's got to alert the church.
Donald Trump has a bussy on his neck because Bubba got tired of his dry mouth because, those teeth that move around at the bottom, his mouth get dry for him. So he had to start getting his neck because it looked like a PUSSY. Donald Trump has a bussy. So I'm going to show you photos of the new Epstein files, what they look like, okay? Okay. Here's why. This comes from Here's Why Kelvin. So this is page 8 of 59 pages, page 8. This is what it looked like in the Epstein files that were released. I'm sorry. Okay, that's page 8. Hold on. The Epstein files are heavily redacted. I'm going to show you. This is what it looked like. This is page 12. I showed y'all page 8 already. This is page 8 of 58. So it's different ways that they did it. So I'm going to show you page 8 of 15 pages. They just showed the judge name in Exhibit F, but we don't see anything for Exhibit F. Pam Bundy, you did a shitty job on this. Page 4 of 15. There's many more pages than that has been redacted, but those are just a couple other pages I wanted to show you. So we're going to take a listen to the survivors. The Epstein victims come together to demand to release the Epstein files. But this was already filmed previously, but I find it very important at this moment that we watch this video, okay?
Me. This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17, 14 years old.
There are about 1,000 of us.
Uh-oh. I mean to bang that. Those are some of Epstein's victims. One moment, please. So we're going to take a listen to Ask Dina Dahl. She's going to give a breakdown, and she says breaking news for her. The Epstein survivor, Maria Farmer, vindicated in the Epstein files. Yes, hold on.
Survivor Maria Farmer says that she is, quote, over the moon because of the fact this document was part of the DOJ partial release of the Epstein files. She says that this is a validation of the story that she has said for years, that she first reported Epstein back in 1996, telling the police that he stole the photos of her and her underage sister and that he threatened to burn down their house, that all there. But however, other survivors are still waiting for their validation. Danielle Bensky speaking to the press about how disappointed she was the fact that all the documents are not coming out today, that as much as this information will bring up trauma, how important it is for them to have the information from the federal government about details the federal government knows about their own lives, as well as validation, how important you saw today for Maria Farmer to read it. Receive such validation. Sadly, other survivors still waiting.
Maria Farmer, she deserved that. She feels vindicated and she has a right to. So they can continue lying all they want to and try to hide all they want to, redact things. That's okay. The DOJ, the Attorney General, Nixon's Attorney General went to prison. Think about that, Bundy. So birds of the feather flock together. I'm going to show you a video of Diddy and Trump hanging out. Yes, Diddy, the nasty man, and Trump, another nasty man.
Working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. My Nizzle. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, well, I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
As working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. My Nizzle. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, well, I think he's a good guy.
I guess Malcolm gonna say that's AI, huh? It's not AI. That's your savior, Donald Trump, saying he loves Diddy. Birds of the feather flock together. They are the exact same person. I told y'all, one black, they twins, one black, one white. They're twins. Today's Epstein files release is just the latest part of Trump cover-up scheme. This is coming from Midas Touch Network. Subscribe to their channel. You would not regret it.
Epstein files released from the Department of Justice is a complete and total disgrace. This is a cover-up of proportions never before seen in American history that is happening right before our eyes. They did a partial release of the Epstein files and heavily redacted what they released. Something like 90% of what is out there is completely redacted. I mean, just look at this video that Ben Collins of The Onion put together.
Look at all that redaction.
Through the grand jury materials in the files. Those are just all redacted pages, one after the next, after the next, after the next. Yes, this is real. By law, not only were all the files supposed to be released today, but they were also supposed to be in a searchable library. But the search function just so happens to be broken. They blame the technical limitations in the format of certain materials. One thing they made sure to include in their photo dump included a handful of photos of Bill Clinton. There were photos of Michael Jackson, some of Kevin Spacey, and others. Looks like Attorney General Pam Bondi didn't look close enough because this picture happened to slip through the cracks. Let's enhance that for a second. This photo was discovered by Matt Novak of Gizmodo, and you can see in the drawer here photos of Donald Trump. This is one that we've seen before of Donald Trump, Melania, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. And then we see him here with some girls. This is a complete and total disgrace. It's a total slap in the face to the victims. It's yet another part of the Trump regime's cover-up of the Epstein files, and everybody should be calling them out every single day on this. Shame on them. Frankly, the more they try to cover this up, the more you just have to think, what the hell are they hiding? What are they so afraid of the public seeing? We'll keep following all the news. Remember to follow along and listen to the Midas Touch podcast for more. This Epstein files release.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network. Yes.
English or get out of my country. Go ahead. Yeah.
Blossoms among determined citizens who race across city streets and between offices, striving for success.
I can't understand a word he said. Fuck you!
Speak English or get out of my country. Go ahead. Yeah.
Blossoms among determined citizens who race across city streets and between all.
I just had to throw some comedy in there, y'all. Yes. Y'all know I like to make you laugh. We're going to get back to the Epstein files, okay? This is a reenactment of the Pam Bundy in the Epstein files. This is Nicole Whitted. She's an author, if I'm not mistaken. Listen to how she's going to act like Pam Bundy, crying and everything. She says, Pam Bundy, after releasing the first 100,000 files.
God, what a day we did it. We redacted his name from those first 100,000 files. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. No, I don't think anyone will notice that there's just a bunch of black pages completely redacted. And that you can't search his name at all, even though we all said that, yeah, you'll find him in there. It doesn't matter. He's going to be so proud of me. And we made sure to keep in Clinton so many dirty photos of Clinton and Michael Jackson. I think that'll be a nice surprise. I think people will like that. Yeah. Oh God, we said we'd release the rest of the files in 2 weeks. How am I going to redact all of him in 2 weeks? I'm so tired. Oh God, I did good. I did good. I think he's going to be real proud of me.
Honey, she's acting like as if, you know, she's Pam Bundy, how Pam Bundy is reacting to the Epstein files, which she helped redact. Girl. Lock her up. They talking about Pam Bundy. So we're going to see what Josh the Progressive has to say, because he says lock Pam Bundy up.
Pam Bondi really went from saying just a few months ago that there were no more Epstein files to be released and that there's nothing we should be asking about. Now she's releasing hundreds of thousands of redacted Epstein files and says they can't even release all the files today. The rest will come in a few weeks and maybe months. Pam Bondi, I just have 3 words for you. Lock her up.
Lock her up. And that's what y'all said about Hillary Clinton. Lock her up. Please. Trump is pretty much saying, F those survivors, I'm the victim and I should not be held accountable. What I'm talking about? Take a listen. It says Trump panics over Epstein files. Epstein files is all over Donnie's brain. You can't escape it, boo. Not even try to hide them in your doggone diaper, in your Depends, boy.
The Justice Department is also sending some of the Epstein files over to the House Oversight Committee today. Are you in support of them releasing all of them? If they wanted to release,
people shouldn't be hurt, but I'm in support of keeping it totally open. I couldn't care less. You got a lot of people that could be mentioned in those files that don't deserve to be people, because he knew everybody in Palm Beach. I don't know anything about that, but I have said to Pam and everybody else, give them everything you can give them, because it's a Democrat hoax. It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax. So we had the greatest 6 months, 7 months in the history of the presidency, and the Democrats don't know what to do, so they keep bringing up that stuff. But it affected them. Bill Clinton was on his plane and went to the island supposedly 28 times. I don't want to bring that up, frankly.
This fat orange says he don't want to bring it up, but he brings up Bill Clinton. We saw photos of him. We also know that you blue bubble, Donnie. Donna Janine Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donna Janine Trump, you blue bubble. So stop bringing up everybody else when you know you in the Epstein files. All over the Epstein files. Everything that's black is Donald Trump. Just he's not black. He want to be President Barack Obama, a black man. A man of dignity and honor and class. Donnie would never be. Never. Okay. Epstein survivors release powerful PSA to Congress. Watch this again.
I'm going to play this for you in 1 second, but before I do, I want to ask you to please watch it, even if you've already seen it, as it helps get these women's voices heard. And then I want to talk about a comment I saw afterwards. So here we go.
suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
16.
17, 14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Release all of the Epstein files, non-redacted. So Epstein files does not comply with the law. 119 pages totally blocked out, heavily redacted of everything. This is a Trump regime cover-up.
Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. They released one document from a New York grand jury of 119 pages, totally blacked out. This despite a federal judge ordering them to release that document. And our law requires them to explain redactions. There's not a single explanation for why that entire document was redacted. We have not seen the draft indictment that implicates other rich and powerful men who were on Epstein's rape island, who either watched the abuse of young girls or participated in the abuse of young girls and the sex trafficking. The reality is Pam Bondi has obfuscated for months. She first said there were no more documents to be seen. Now she's admitting and releasing hundreds of thousands of documents, but it is an incomplete release with too many redactions. Thomas Massie and I are exploring all options. It can be the impeachment of people at justice, inherent contempt, or referring for prosecution those who are obstructing justice. We will work with the survivors to demand the full release of these files, to demand justice for the Epstein class and accountability.
Accountability. The MAGA Republicans don't know what accountability is. Sweet lady, are you still here in my chat? I'm going to try to find you in here. Hold on. Sweet lady, are you still in my chat, Queen? Thank you. Aeon, Start. Thank you so much. Hey, King. Yeah. Hello, OG. Yeah. What's going on? Just a moment, everybody. Sweet lady, I added you as a moderator. I hope that's okay. I hope you don't mind, Queen. Just a moment. I'll skip over that because we don't have much time.
We have breaking news right now. The first batch of the Epstein files have officially been released to the public. The Department of Justice has dropped a tranche of hundreds of thousands of documents to the general public. Here's what comes next. I'm going to review every single one of them. This doesn't take 5 minutes. It's going to take several hours over several days, and I will make periodic updates over the next several hours into the weekend and into next week. I'm also going to be providing you full recaps on my Substack, linked in my bio. Remember, this is not the end. There are more documents that the DOJ has in its possession that it is refusing to release today in violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. There are hundreds of thousands of more documents in its possession. We are expecting to get those in the next several days, the next several weeks. Now is the time to release all the files. We got some today. I'll have more updates soon. Follow for more.
You're welcome, sweet lady.
Saying we got nothing from the new batch of Epstein files that were released. You're completely wrong. We got something. We definitely learned some new information. We learned that this administration and the Department of Justice and Attorney General Pam Bondi is even more intent on making this the biggest cover-up and the greatest scandal in American history. That's what we learned.
That's exactly what we learned. All those files redacted only taught us that they are having and making the biggest cover up America has seen. You have Nixon beat Donald Trump, you and Pam Bundy, all of you. Uh-oh, hold on.
Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Trump Justice Department just released their first batch of Epstein files, which is against the law, by the way. The law required them to release all files today. They've released a handful of files. That's completely in violation of the law. And by the way, if you search Donald Trump's name in this new batch of files, nothing comes up. Nothing. And before you say, oh, it goes to show Trump isn't involved. No, we already know he's more than involved. We have all the photographs of Trump and Epstein from the Epstein estate. We have the emails of Trump knowing about the girls, knowing about the underage children that were being poached from Trump's properties, being used by Epstein, sold to Epstein, Trump being totally okay with this. We have a ton of new photos of Epstein and Bill Clinton, which, by the way, I don't care that he's a Democrat. Everybody should be prosecuted, but it clearly shows that the Trump Justice Department and Attorney General Pam Bondi are more interested in painting a picture that's negative about the Democrats than they are about releasing the full files. So Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Trump Justice Department just released their first batch of Epstein files, which is
they released a bunch of redacted files, 119 pages redacted. So that tells us that was Donald Trump. Because Pam Bundy told Donald Trump that he was all over the Epstein files. So there's 119 pages from what they released today, redacted. Donnie, you're a horrible man. Pages and pages, black, really. The cover for Donald Trump. Janine Trump is real. Show the Dems. The Dems need to show Trump they're not playing. Show them they're not playing. Prosecute Pam Bundy, Cash Patel, etc.
The major news right now. I've gone through thousands of Epstein documents already because many of them are heavily, if not completely, redacted. But there are some important photos that you need to see right now. Before I get to it, this is a major trigger warning. Please do not watch this video if these photos could possibly trigger you. And at the same time, I do want to say these files are not the full files. This is a Department of Justice cover-up right now. Many of them are heavily redacted, if not completely redacted, like this one. There are thousands of pages.
That's what the pages look like.
The review process is actually going pretty quickly because there are only about 8,000 documents. Thousands of pages, but only 8,000 documents. Here's the first photo. This is Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson on a plane. Though faces of young girls and or women are redacted. This is the second image of what looks like Bill Clinton in a hot tub with someone redacted. Another one with Bill Clinton redacted. This is an image of a scrapbook. Lots of redactions, but as you can see, it's images of young girls or women. I have not seen any images of Donald Trump for the record. I'm going to continue reviewing it. I'll let you know, but I will say this. This is the initial batch. They're not meeting their deadline. There are more files that they need to release, and they said they're not releasing it. Follow for more.
Why would you not release it? Because Donald J. Trump is all over the Epstein files. Yeah, Janine Trump, the one that wants a ballroom so he can dance all around in his tutu, a pink one at that.
News, the Epstein files are out, so let's just go over here.
Pay attention, you guys.
Here we go. We'll see the Epstein files. Holy shit. Shit. Oh.
You see they all black? They redacted. The whole pages are black. Pam Bundy, you should feel ashamed of yourself. I hope God didn't bless you with children, because what kind of mother would you be to uphold pedos?
Okay. So...
This is the Epstein files they released today. It's embarrassing. They planted the American people face. So we're going to go back to the other video I showed you talking about. Hold on, y'all. Phone going dead. Hold on. It's going dead, beautiful kings and queens. Hold on. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Just a moment, everybody. Bear with me. We do have some good news. Guess what? President Joe Biden was spotted out with his family today, looking 1,000 times better than Donald Trump, who could barely stay awake during his meetings today. This is amazing. Take a look.
Merry Christmas, Dad. Here. It's not a picture, just a video.
That is President Joe Biden tonight, out in the city. Hold on. Just a moment, everybody, okay? We're going to be getting out of here soon. I know y'all got to go to bed and go to work and make that money. Well, some people don't work on the weekend, so maybe y'all can stay up late tonight. Hold on. Oh, so we're going to talk about something that's incredible. A young black man that's originally, I think, from Tennessee or Mississippi. It is stated in here. But he lives in Atlanta. He never had any schooling or anything to teach him how to make fuel to start a car. He made it from trash, plastic. And this young black man, he's 23. I think he actually started working on this when he was like 18. But anyway, he's amazing. Pay attention. Hold on.
Young black man has changed the world, or potentially changed the world, forever, all from his backyard. I want to tell you the story of Julian Brown, a kid born in Tennessee, raised in Atlanta, self-taught welder and inventor with no degree or lab. He's managed to turn plastic into fuel. Turn plastic like garbage, any plastics that you find in your trash, into fuel, guys. Diesel specifically. He realized that plastics come from crude oil. And to his belief, he was like, this could easily be turned back into fuel. So he built a small reactor and called the process plastoline, converting plastic into diesel, gasoline, and jet fuel. He launched a startup called NatureJab and shared his experiments on Instagram, and that's how I found out about him. And on TikTok. His videos went super viral worldwide. The science behind it was pyrolysis, so this is not new. It's been done before, but he upgraded it using microwaves and solar energy for a cleaner conversion. He suffered second-degree burns in an explosion but refused to quit. He tried to raise $1 million to scale this idea, but he managed only a few thousand, like a tens of thousands. Then in July 2025, he posted that he's under attack, and then he just vanished. Now he's back, and experts are trying to dismiss this and saying that his work is risky or unproven, but this is the reality. He's had independent tests done, and they've said that the gasoline, the diesel he's producing, is some of the most refined that they've seen, and it is completely functional. He's tested it live, put it into cars, it's operating. This could change Africa, for example, in terms of the way that we can access fuel, because we have dumps, tons and tons of dumps of plastic in Africa that we could reconvert, not to mention all over the world. Now, the question you ask yourself is why this is not front page news everywhere.
Because he's a black
man. Why
man.
this young man has not been able to raise $100 million, $1 billion from the black community. Forget everybody else, just from the black community, because they constantly say that we don't have innovation, we don't have brain power, with all of this nonsense, which are all lies. We see a kid that can do this in his backyard with nothing, and we're not supporting him. That is insane. What are all the millionaires doing? Why are we not protecting him? This guy should be on everybody's news station just for visibility, to protect his safety. We should be supporting this kid, making sure that he has every single resource.
I agree. We should be supporting him. But what does the MAGA Republican men do? The mediocre white men? That's not all white men, because there's some amazing, great white men in my chat. The mediocre ones I'm talking about. They targeted this young man. He had to go into hiding. So about 100 years, I say 50, 100 years from now, if not even wait that long, the white man always steal the idea of a black man. The light bulb was created by a black man, but they said a white man did it. This young guy has perfected this, and they tried to stop him. Now, what would happen? It would later on probably be patented by a white man and says his creation. It happens all the time. The cell phone, black person. GPS, black person. I could go on, the list can go on, and the white man took it and got credit for it. I pray for this young man that this does not happen to him. Oh, I have something else for you because Donald Trump is up to no good. Russia playing him. Putin is playing him like a yo-yo, but Russia is actually helping Venezuela. But we can't trust Putin. Venezuela shouldn't trust Putin either.
Has finally entered the battlefield to assist Venezuela against the United States. Russia's Ilyushin Il-76 giant cargo landed today in Venezuela's capital, Caracas, carrying 50 tons of supplies and 200 personnel. Let me tell you, this cargo plane is globally famous for delivering rockets, helicopter parts, warheads, military equipment, and it can supply S-400 systems. Apparently, all these supplies have now reached Venezuela. For the S-400, it's being reported that 2 to 3 more trips will be needed. I should also mention that this Il-76 completed a 2-day journey to reach Venezuela, passing through Germany, Algeria, Morocco, and Mauritania. This mission also serves as a moral support gesture. Moreover, they stated that Russia's military support and supplies will be fully available to Venezuela. While Ukraine is receiving support from Europe, NATO, and the United States in the Russia-Ukraine war, Russia will definitely support Venezuela. As I mentioned before, 80 to 90% of Venezuela's military equipment is Russian-made. Now, only the U.S. troops and F-35s are monitoring the Caribbean Sea in Latin America, and an attack could happen at any moment.
Okay, Donald Trump, you keep trying to mess with them people, taking stuff from them, talking about it's there, yours. The white man would say everything is his. That's Venezuela's. All their minerals, their land. Talking about you gonna go take it because you already stole something. Donald Trump is a pirate and Pete Hegseth is a pirate. It's that simple. I'm gonna read some of the things that you all have in the chat, and we are going to get out of here soon. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging in here with me. Josh says World War III around the corner. I pray that it's not. I hope that somebody help Donald Trump come to his senses, because you do not own Venezuela. You don't even own yourself. Satan owns you, Donald Trump. Nighthawk says, I've already donated to him. I'm not a millionaire or anything. Well, that's your own fault, baby. I can't support somebody that's silly enough to donate to Donald Trump. God bless you. You're in my prayers for sure. King LaSwan says, oh, thank you, baby. Thank you. LaSwan says, Trump must be impeached immediately. Yes, he should. Ismail Mohammed says, love you. Good night. I love you too. Good night, baby. Fred Wright says, black is beautiful. Brown is grand. But white is the color of big boss man. Donald Trump may be white, but he's not great. Thank you, Victor. Thank you for the love. Thank you. OG Yaya, that's my baby. Hey, King. We invented everything. Yes, we did. And they take credit for it. Esma Muhammad says, they're going to take Africa most reaches and others need to help him. Yes, they need to help him. I don't know why some millionaire, billionaire that's black has not helped him. People can be selfish and threatened by your gifts that God give you. Josh says, very impressive. It was very impressive. That's a 23-year-old man. They even had him to hide out because they was threatening his life. Very good discovery, Josh. Sweet Lady says, thank you to Josh. Nighthawk says, plastiline. Okay. Parker says, never trust anyone who speaks while wearing sunglasses. Okay, that's your opinion. And someone called the young man nothing to do, called the young man a genius. Yes, he is. Josh said, very intelligent. Yes, he is. Caramel67 said, yes, I'll be gonna do a all-nighter. Mine got nothing to do. Yeah, it's the weekend. I still have some more food to cook, but I'll be fine. I love you too, Josh, and you know it, baby. Thank you for loving my show. Parker says, Sleepy Joe socializing. Honey, you can't afford to call President Joe Biden Sleepy Joe anymore because Donald Trump falls asleep at every meeting. Every meeting. Oh, King Yaya. Oh, my baby, bless me. King OG Yaya, thank you for blessing me. Thank you. He says, salute for North Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa is where the black people had our own town. And what happened? White people got jealous and flooded and burned down and unalive people, even babies. And the woman that lived the longest from Tulsa, I got to meet her this year, and I took photos with her and everything. She just died unalived. I'm sorry for saying that word on here. She was 110. I think she made it to 111 if I'm not mistaken. But when I last saw her, she was 110. She was one of the last survivors of the Tulsa situation that white people did to black people, destroyed our whole town of jealousy and hatred. Thank you. I love you. Nothing to do. Say you want to wrestle. You can't beat me, King. You don't want none of this. You want Obama with the B, huh? I got love, but I'm dangerous, baby. Sweet lady said, yes, you can. Yes, okay, so y'all could hear me. Okay, Caramel69 says they even rebuilt Tulsa. Yes, they did. God bless. God bless. God bless. OG Yaya says, Mama Fletcher is my cousin. Okay. Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. I got to meet her. I took photos with her. And I even came on here and showed everybody that I took photos with her. She spoke at it and everything. You wouldn't think, because she even stood up and everything. You would not think this woman was 110 years old. Yes, 110 years old. God bless. Hey, Queen MB 1969 MB. What a blessing, King Yaya. Thank you for, he blessed me. Thank you. Thank you, King Yaya. I love you, baby. James Temple says, OMG. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live this weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Live your life to the fullest. But don't forget who wakes you up every morning. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Pray to him. Spread love. Do something for somebody's child. Do something nice. Do something for the homeless. Do something great. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. And God loves you too. May God continue to enrich your family and loved ones. Good night. I see you Monday. Bye.